Yeah, go for it.
Looks so cool.
Okay. So I've been planning out the next year releases, and I decided to switch some things around. People have been requesting 1/35th scale figures, so I thought Allosaurus would be a good next entry into that scale. So I'm doing that, and then the Cryolophosaurus. We've actually had the head and neck sculpted for a while now. It's going to use the Dilophosaurus body because they're so similar. But that's been ready to go for a while. We just haven't figured out where to put it yet. I decided to switch out the Carnotaurus because I want the Cyberzoic version to come out first. So instead, I put in these other three. I feel like kind of balance it out. Plus, it also gives a larger price range, so we don't have like we already have Stegosaurus as the big one, and so that way it doesn't end up being a bunch of big figures.
I had to look up what the Cryosaurus was.
And Chris, I've always had the color purple in mind for this species. I don't know why. But I'm not sure what it's going to look like yet, but I just, like, in my head, I see purple in there somewhere. I could go grab it if you want to see it.
Yeah, dude,
Please.
grab it.
Please.
Reveal.
So
Look at that.
Oh.
I'm just going to get rid of the neck pieces, but
That looks
Put
so
your
good.
your hand. Yeah.
I'm gonna take some pictures of it. I mean, I wasn't even planning on showing it tonight, but this was kind of spontaneous. But yeah, you kind of get an idea.
There it is.
This is sculpted by Raul Ramos, and he finished it recently. We had an interesting problem to solve with this one because while everybody knows it to have the spikes on the shoulders, I was talking to some experts and they said it's more likely that the spikes would have been on the hips for this species. So we designed it to have two different methods of setting up. Now that little circle there will be easier to get rid of once we actually make it, but yeah, like the idea is that it basically uses the same body, but we can put out two different versions of it. So
That's so cool.
How wild is that?
The first thing Chris is going to do is just take two and then put spikes both hips and shoulders because he wants spikes everywhere.
Listen, spikes are cool.
all the spikes. I guess you could do that. I mean,
And then roll it into a ball and throw it.
It's got to roll into a ball.
This is a historical moment. I think this is the first ever dinosaur figure that's been made where you can customize the reconstruction based on different theories. Like, that's so cool.
Dun dun dun. Do a little clap.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
so
man.
excited.
Yeah. I'm so excited. This looks so good. Like, it's really cool because we're working on this. We get to see everything, but to see it laid out like this and see it as a card form, it's wild, man. This feels so real now.
We're planning to get it out summer of this next year, and all of the first wave of Cyberzoic figures will include an exclusive variant of card that's playable in the game.
Mm-hmm. Man.
yeah. So the bio cards that we normally put with our figures will actually be playable in the game, and you'll only be able to get those cards with the figures.
Let me zoom in on these because they are incredible. Look at these.
Yep.
And then you also, on the other side, is the illustration from the package. So instead of having the normal Zoic back, which would be this right here, you get the cool illustration from it.
We've been hard at work on a pretty much daily basis, like ironing out all the artwork for the cards and tweaking abilities and stuff. And it's just been a really fun process.
We spent a lot of time, Spino, Chris, and I, and also Caesar, who's been helping us, like figuring out the best way to communicate. You have riders, you have armors, you have transforming armors, and you have dinosaurs, and they all need to somehow play into the game with all of these other standardized gameplay systems. But we really hammered out an awesome process where you can place your dinosaurs on the field, and you build and attach armors and riders, and they boost the stats. And
can you zoom in on one of those cards on the right again, Chris? Yeah. So there's, you see the ability at the bottom, because we have like the fact stats up top of the Glacial Overlord ability. That's going to be another, you can get a variant of that card that does the same exact thing in the foil packs that'll just have a different layout with different art on it. So we wanted to make sure that it wasn't like pay to win, so you had to buy the figure to get like a specific part of the game, and for the people who aren't into like the armor and the soldiers and stuff from Cyberzoic, like we said, you can just play it with the dinosaurs. And we made sure to be aware too that the dinosaurs on their own, without the armor and the attachments and stuff, would have interesting gameplay mechanics and synergies with each other. One of my favorites is stuff we're doing with the raptors in the game currently.
Oh yeah,
they have a really cool mechanic that can play off of each other, and I'm excited for eventually when we can sit down and do like a gameplay test on the stream.